I just got here, and it's time to talk about this magnificent episode and fight that we had here. Garfiel versus Kurgan was just cinema, honestly, especially what they did there towards the end. I really liked him actually breaking through this PTSD that he has had with Elsa, everything that happened, people supporting him. We're gonna get into all of that, and Kurgan being an honorable opponent, even more considering his circumstances with the witch cult there. Awesome that we got here, and Garfiel definitely steals the show, but we also have some of the other fights which are very interesting, to say the least. The Capella versus Al one, that one took some interesting turns there, to say the least, but I'm happy with what they did here, honestly. And versus Gluttony, I'm not sure how that is gonna work out. I'm very worried about that one versus later. But anyway, let's get into this episode and talk about it. Now, it picks up after Regulus. Thank you, he's finally dead here, and we have Garfiel versus Kurgan starting a bit, but he still sees Elsa throughout of that, even hesitating to kill the beasts, thinking they haven't done anything against him. That fight with Elsa really stuck with Garfiel and put him kind of in a mental block, so to say, ever since that happened. And even what happened between him and Reinhardt, seeing that he's not the strongest. And like I said in previous episode, I really like that moment between them. I think that helped Garfiel quite a lot, changing his perspective of himself and of the world. I talk more about that in the video when that happened, but I really like that moment. But in this case, Kurgan, being the honorable one, actually comes in and kills the beast. He wanted to have a duel, but even though I'm saying that, he still started pummeling, like manhandling Garf, pushing him down in the sword. Like, that was a beat down that he got, and Garf gets multiple thanks to Kurgan in this episode. But we're gonna get into that fight also. We had Otto and Felt's group there versus Gluttony, Lay. I always mix them up, Lay and Roy, my bad, from the brothers there, with Otto's water dragons taking Lay away. But I was like, there's no way that's gonna work, right? It's too easy. And yeah, of course, he starts eating the dragons here, and Felt saying she has this secret weapon that is so powerful that even Reinhardt could get damaged by it. I wouldn't be sure. That guy came back from the moon. I'm like, I don't know what weapon you have, but yeah, maybe that's just an exaggeration, but I'm curious about this weapon. Otto and the others stay behind, and even Gaston, one of the bandits from the first episode. This actually made me smile. Even the other one that was at the start of season 3, that was when Siri showed up, that was with Subaru. I can't remember his name right now, but I like characters that basically meant nothing, so to say. They weren't big characters at the start of the series. Right now we see them playing a bigger role here, and I didn't expect him to have this magic. When Lay came back, Gaston was able to block and actually bend the dagger or knife, whatever Lay uses there, thanks to this mana flow. He can kind of harden his body, or maybe make a mana shell out of it for defense, and actually Gaston seems to be stronger now. Makes me think, did he trained with this? Did he always have that power? Imagine if we had this Gaston when they first met with Subaru. Like, Subaru is definitely the weakest character. If people haven't figured this one out, I'm just surprised. Like, sure, he has the return by that thing, but physically, power-wise, he's probably one of the weakest, if not the weakest character in the series. Of course, I'm talking besides normal civilians and so on here. So Felt goes to to find that weapon, and we have Gaston and Otto versus Lay, and I'm worried. But he also said something. There's 3 of them that Rui might like. Who is Rui? Have we met Rui before? Was there a name mentioned, the character? I'm not remembering. Let me know in the comments below if it was in the anime. If it's not in the anime yet, don't tell me anything. So Rui, a name to keep in mind. But after that, we also have Al versus Capella, and the conversations there just had me floored. I was laughing so much. The back and forth between them was awesome. Like, calling her gross, cutting her, exploding her, Capella regening, mess everywhere here. And Capella said something curious, accusing him for Al being the one that opened the gate to flood the city, kind of spoiling their plans there. So I'm even more suspicious of Al right now. Like, he's probably the most mysterious, interesting character in the series that we have met so far. Of course, I have questions about the witches and so on. I mean, a character outside of the witches cult and the witches themselves there, which I have a ton of questions about. But Al is just like this guy that blurs the line, does a lot of things behind the scenes, so I have so many questions, and even alluding that he was the one that killed the others that knew where the witches' bones were. So Al is the guy that is willing to do anything and everything to stop them here. And Capella goes on to my love will take you, take off your helm, make love with me, actually inviting him to have sex with her. But he goes, plays off with her. I feel like you put them in a room, you record their conversations, and you're gonna have the best banter ever. You're gonna make so much money, put that shit on TV when you're bored and watch them go back and forth, throwing insults at each other, playing off. It's so good between them. He starts playing and he says, sorry, I appreciate it, but we don't know, no, I played it off here. I was laughing so much thanks to that here, but then Capella proceeds to transform into Priscilla here, saying she read Al his preferences there, and he doesn't fall for it, even instantly rejects her. She gets really mad, like actually mauls a bit, calls her disgusting. Hey, the worst he could say, right, is no, you're disgusting, I hate you. And then starts attacking her, exploding her, decapitating her. I'm like, okay, damn, bro, no, the win enough, but I get it. Do everything and anything and worse to her. She more than deserves it. But the back and forth between them, I was enjoying it so much. And was Capella saying, I need to correct him? This is like, wait, isn't that meme reverse? Like people telling Mesogaki's character types like that they need correction, but she tells it to Al. Okay, I see what you're doing there, and I do hope the translations and everything are correct, because I'm so fucking tired of rezero getting fucked over by mistranslations and issues and so on. So if you guys have read the light novel and the source material, let me know in the comments below if she actually says that. That would be really funny. But here we're probably gonna see the conclusion to that fight a few episodes after that. We have Garf versus Kurgan, kind of takes the center stage of this episode here, with him waking up in the source. And like I said, Kurgan seems to be a very honorable warrior. He actually waited for Garf to wake up. He could have killed him at any time. They're just standing over him. Like, this guy is just pure honor, but unfortunately he's on the side of the witch cultists here, probably being manipulated and so on, and what happened with Teresia also there. So I really like warriors that are like that, even though they're your enemy. I can't help but feel a bit of admiration for people, even more considering his legend and what Wilhelm and Garf were talking about, how Kurgan used to be in the many armed tribe. They were discriminated because they didn't have a lot of mana or magic there, and he was kind of a legend. He saved his people from a lord that attacked them, so he was definitely a hero. And even though his tribe, his people discriminated also against him, because he was the mutant in a way, an exception. He had more arms than he was normal. He had 8 arms, and him drawing all of the swords meant he was acknowledging the opponent in front of him, and if he didn't do that, he didn't consider you strong. And throughout the fight we see that play very much so into Garfiel, and how much he looked up at Kurgan, also this legendary warrior. But I like characters like that that are very honorable when they're fighting here. But here we have the fight after he wakes up. Garf definitely gets pummeled again, like a lot. He took a lot of damage here when they woke up there. That one just Garf is definitely a shield. Like, he took the beat downs here, and Kurgan almost suffocates him, but they jump into the water, the sewer water there, the canals here, and they end up in the refugee shelter. And I really like this moment. I ain't back in with his brother, sister there, just gorgeous tiger, the kids. That was such a cool moment, but unfortunately beasts walk in also in here. We still see that hesitation into Garf still seeing Elsa, and Elsa, that image in his mind telling him I love you. Well, I don't, and he's finally able to break through to this to protect his family and protect also the other people that were down there, the refugees. He breaks through this mental block and trauma that he has had with Elsa, and we finally get the main fight, so to say, in this episode. Garf and Kurgan and the kids, gorgeous tiger, and everybody, even the civilians there, and Garf just saying, hey boss, referring to Subaru, your speech was a bit too effective, raising the morale of everybody. And I like that, emotional moments there quite a lot, and him saying, I'm the ultimate shield, wait, no, I'm the gorgeous tiger. And then we get the fight here, Garf versus Kurgan, and the camera movement, the impact frames, the back and forward they did here. Thank you so much to the staff, the animators, and the creator, of course, everybody that worked on this. That was amazing. And seeing Garf pushing himself further and beyond, breaking bones in his arms everywhere, just pushing through everything here, and he's able, I think, to rip his neck from what I saw there, thanks to the previous wound when he scratched him, cut him a bit there, and Garf actually wins it with his teeth. Like, this was so close, and he only won because Kurgan was an honorable warrior, but this also helped Garf be recognized after Kurgan during the fight pulled out all of their swords, recognized that Garf is also a warrior and an honorable one when he saw him trying to protect everybody there. So they were the best opponents for each other here, and I like that quite a lot. And Kurgan's last words being magnificent and honorable, but tragic character, honestly, here. But yeah, that was such a great episode, and I love Garf so much, everything that happened here, the back and forth, Capella and Al. I'm worried, very worried. My main worry right now is versus Lay, Gluttony there, Otto and Gaston. But we also have an end credit scene. Make sure you watch it, come back to the video also if you didn't watch it, and we have a bit of the aftermath, people being happy that Garf won here, the kids very much so. He's very wounded, he's gonna need a lot of healing, but that was an emotional moment between them, and we see a bit of the things to come in next episode, Wilhelm versus Theresia, and Wilhelm actually getting wounded there, so yeah, I'm worried about that one also. But Wilhelm is one of my all-time favorite characters in the entire series, and probably an amazing old man in anime. Such a great character. I've loved him since season 1 here, and the conversations between him and Subaru are just a treat every time they happen, the back and forth, how much respect they have for each other. I even talked about it back in episode 1 when this season started. I love them so much every time they're together, but very, very sad. So, and having Wilhelm fight against his wife, considering everything that happened to her, him with his revenge, just the wound, the salt, just pouring into that, just... But this is why rezero is great. So yeah, I'm very excited for the next episode, but this one was definitely focused mainly on Garfiel versus Kurgan. But I'm really curious what you guys thought about the episode. What was your favorite moment here, and which fight are you more worried about right now? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot. You guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow, so keep enjoying rezero. I'm gonna see you again on the next one. Bye bye.